Kevin's going to speak to you about the local environmental risks faced by this coal seam gas exploration right here in St Peters. Please make Kevin welcome.
Good morning, everyone. It's so great to see so many people turn out today in support of this issue. In 1995, when I moved to St Peters, our then bank wouldn't lend us the funds to purchase our house, stating that St Peters was risky, way too risky to invest, citing Campbell Road, widening, airport noise as examples of why they wouldn't give us the money to purchase our home. This negative perception about our suburb was widely held in those days. Sadly, it would seem, the wonderful suburb of St Peters is still neglected by our political leaders. The Premier, Christina Keneally, says that approved drilling for coal seam gas in St Peters by Macquarie Energy is only for an exploration well. And if production wells were to be drilled, the public would be consulted. Well, isn't that nice of her? Fantastic. So after they prove the economic viability of the testing, they'll tell us about it. That's just fantastic. Our Premier doesn't seem to understand why we are angry. Well, I'm bloody angry. I'm angry because approval for coal seam gas testing appears to have been granted without any kind of public engagement with the local community and with inadequate environmental safeguards. And she wonders why we're all unhappy. The lack of transparency on such a risky venture that could impact disastrously on thousands of people in this community is simply staggering. We have been let down badly by our government, a government charged with the responsibility to protect us, our water supply and our already stressed environment by imposing rigorous regulations for this type of industry. But what we find is simply a conflict of interest, with our government being the single largest beneficiary of the revenue from this industry. The community and many of us today are apparently just collateral damage in a dash for cash. It would be all too easy for our actions here today to seem selfish, a sort of NIMBY, not in our backyard response. However, the fact remains the risks to the health and safety of our environment are simply too great to allow gas extraction in the centre of Australia's largest city. The coal gas industry would have us believe that they are operating safely and sustainably. But angry landowners, as we just heard, and concerned citizens across the country would argue this simply is not true. I'm angry because St Peters is not just another business opportunity, it's my home. It's up to the coal seam gas industry to convince us that they will not harm our land and our water, and it is vital that we have guarantees the coal seam gas industry will not harm our health and that of our children. They have the scientific resources and the money to do the research. However, the US gas mining industry, which has been operating for over 20 years, has not provided any hard evidence that the industry is safe to the environment. Australia is being let down by deficient laws which allow the unconstrained growth of destructive fossil fuel extraction industries. We are calling for a more balanced and rigorous regulatory approach to police the development of coal gas mining in Australia. So what can we do as a community to stop this proposal? Well, our governments must restore the balance between rampant short-term development of our natural resources and the preservation of the environment and the quality of present and future generations of Australians. As a community, we must decide to speak up and have a voice in deciding when and where our resources are exploited. We can make a difference, but we need to act now. The timing is on our side. Nervous politicians of all colours are trying to keep their electorates happy and on side ahead of the election. So when Carmel, Verity, Christina and Anthony next visit your neighbourhood, kissing babies and making promises they won't deliver, let them know in the strongest terms that you are concerned about this issue and suggest to them that your vote will go to the party that cancels gas exploration in St Peters. You can also write to politicians, of course, sign the petitions that we have around us today, and join the national as well as the local campaigns against coal seam gas exploration. But importantly, you need to learn the truth. As we've heard, there's a big fight on, and we really need to be armed and charged with the knowledge to be able to take the appropriate action. So from here, go back and tell your neighbours, people who may be not aware of the issue, and I look forward to working with you on the fight. Thank you.